I wanted to pick up a Christological Aramaic Grammar commentary that I had started some time ago, and it's been a while since I have been in doing that. So I'd like to go back to that, and I believe we stopped in Daniel 7, beginning at verse 18. And so I would read it as Vikablun Malchuta Kadishe Elyonim V'yaksenun Malchuta Ad Alma V'ad Alam Almaya. And as we would translate that, we would render it, but the saints of the Most High will receive the kingdom, and they will possess the kingdom for all ages to come. So as we look at the grammar with commentary, notice it begins v'kablun. Notice here we have a vav, and it's a contrastive use of the conjunction rendered here, but, and kabalun, or v'kabalun, is a pa'el imperfect third masculine plural from kaval. Notice with the conjunction to receive. So we would translate the word, but they shall receive, even though the great beast looks furious, rising out of the earth. The destiny of the saint is that they are going to have a final eternal kingdom from the Son of Man and the Father. We had just looked early on at how the beast would arise and would oppress the saints. And by the way, some commentators want to apply this to Antiochus Epiphanes. I believe it's looking at a future anti-Christian antichrist that would arise. So then as we go on, Malchuta is a feminine noun, singular, meaning kingdom. And notice the here, the final is a definite article, the kingdom. In Aramaic, the article occurs at the end of a word instead of at the beginning. Like in here, Malkuta, instead of ha, Malkut, it's Malkuta. So the kingdom, the saints, shall receive the kingdom. And notice, kadishe is an adjective masculine plural, meaning the holy ones, and those that are holy. And we could render it the holy ones or / the saints. Notice that Sedri Yod here puts this in a plural construct form. And Elyonin is a noun masculine plural rendered the Most High. Notice the in ending is the masculine plural suffix ending. In other words, it actually in looks at a plural, a masculine plural ending. So the holy ones of the Most High, Elyonim, shall receive a kingdom. And then notice as we read on, the Yaksenun, and they shall possess. Notice the Yaksenun is, we have a vav conjunction, and then we have the what is called a hafel imperfect, Yaksenun, from chasan, to possess. Notice it's a hafel imperfect third masculine plural from chasan. Notice the patach under the yod gives it away as a hafel stem. Historically, Yechachsenun became Yaksenun, with the hey eliding or dropping out historically. So we would translate the word as they shall possess or be caused to possess. This would parallel in Hebrew the Hiphil form, and it's called the Hafal in Aramaic. And so they shall possess. Malchutah is the kingdom. Here we have a noun, feminine singular, the kingdom, and notice the suffix is the definite article rendered the kingdom. So they shall possess the kingdom. Ad alma. Ad is your preposition, and alma is a noun, masculine singular, and it means forever. Notice the again, is the definite article. So we would translate this as forever. Literally, they shall possess for the eternity or forever. And then vad ad alam, notice the vav here is the conjunction, and ad is a preposition, and alam is a noun masculine singular meaning forever. So we would translate the phrase as and forever. Almaya then follows is a noun masculine plural, and putting it together it would mean forever and forever. Notice again is the definite article. So the verse would read, but the saints of the Most High will receive the kingdom, and they will possess the kingdom. We could just render it forever and ever, or for all ages to come. Having seen the Son of Man early on in Daniel 7, Jesus Christ receiving his kingdom from God the Father in verses 15 and following, Daniel is troubled in his mind and in his body, and he wanted to understand more what his vision was about, especially the fourth beast. So in summarizing the chapters, Daniel says that this great beast, which shall arise out of the earth, will attack the saints. However, the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom and possess it forever. So the good news that Daniel wants to drive home is that the saints of the Most High will receive the kingdom and will possess it forever and forever. This again brings us back to Revelation chapter 5, where the Lamb, the Son of Man, has made us his people out of every tribe and tongue and people, and we have a kingdom, we are told, and we shall reign upon the earth. This reign will not end. It will be an eternal reign that will be inaugurated by the return of Jesus Christ. And so, as believers, we can look forward to that eternal kingdom of Christ that he will give at his second coming. Again, this is referred to in Matthew chapter 25 with the reference to the sheep and the goats. The Lord is the Son of Man, and his second coming, the final judgment, will happen. Christ will say to the sheep, I was hungry, and you fed me. And I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was in prison, and you visited me. The idea is that they have shown that they have real faith by their actions. And so then he says, enter the kingdom which has been prepared for you since the foundation of the world. Matthew 25:34. This is the kingdom that I believe that Daniel is speaking about here in the book of Daniel. Daniel wants to know more about the fourth beast that was different from all the others, that had teeth of iron, nails of brass, and devoured and broke in pieces and stamped the rest with its feet. He was then concerned about the 10 horns, and especially the little horn that came up in the midst of the 10, and before whom 3 fell. That horn had intelligent eyes and a mouth that spoke great and blasphemous things. Daniel says, I beheld until the horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Daniel 7:21. Many believe that this is the Roman Empire that represents the world system that has never been a friend of God's people. There will always be a conflict until the Ancient of Days comes and the judgment will be given to him, and the saints of the Most High will possess the kingdom forever. That, I believe, is what Daniel is predicting. Then we come to the next verse that will have Christological meaning and overtone, and that is Daniel 7, verse 22. In Daniel 7:22, the Aramaic reads, Ad diata atik yomaya, vadina yehiv le kadishe elyonin, vazimna meta umachuta echasinu kadishim. And if we're looking at that verse, notice I would translate it, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came, and the saints were caused to take possession of the kingdom. Notice, as we look at it, ad di ata, ad is the preposition until, and di ata, notice that phrase, di is a relative pronoun, meaning which, like the Hebrew asher or shet, and ata is a pe'al, perfect, third masculine singular from ata or eta. Notice, or ata, I should say, notice it means to come. And in Hebrew, pe'al is parallel to the kal stem, the pa'al stem in Hebrew. I should say the Aramaic pe'al, parallel to the pa'al or kal stem in Hebrew. Then we go on, until which, notice atik yomaya, until the Ancient of Days should come. Notice atik is an adjective with the masculine singular, which is masculine singular, meaning ancient. And yomaya is a noun, masculine plural, meaning days. Notice again, is a definite article at the end here. And notice again, these words are in construct form. So we would translate the phrase as the Ancient of Days came, until the Ancient of Days came. Bidina and judgment. Notice ve is the conjunction, and dina is a noun masculine singular meaning judgment. Notice again is the definite article. So until the Ancient of Days came and the judgment, yehiv. Notice yehiv is a pe'el perfect, P-E-I-L in Aramaic, a pe'el perfect, third masculine singular from yehav, meaning to give. So we would render the phrase as, and judgment was given. Pe'el is a passive stem. In Aramaic, we think in Hebrew of the nifal. Until judgment was given, le kadishe, to the saints. Now notice le is your preposition for, or for the saints, and kadishe is an adjective masculine plural meaning the saints. Notice the construct form here, so that we could render this word as for the saints of. Judgment was given for the benefit of the saints, or we could say for the benefit of the saints, Elyonin, or for the saints of, notice Elyonin is an adjective masculine plural meaning the Most High. So for the saints of the Most High, speaking of God. And then Uzimna, notice the vav here is the conjunction, and Zimna is a noun, masculine singular, meaning time. Notice again the is the definite article. So we would translate the word and the time, we could say. Meta, notice meta is a pe'al, P-E-A-L is the stem, pe'al perfect, third masculine singular from meta, meaning to come. So we would render the phrase as, and the time came. Umelchuta, and notice, and the kingdom, notice here is the conjunction and melchuta is the noun feminine singular meaning kingdom, and notice is the definite article. So we would translate the word as and the kingdom, sinu. Notice here we have a hafel perfect, third masculine plural from the form chasan, to take possession. Notice the hey prefix gives it away as a hafal, a perfect, causative, perfect, third masculine plural in the u suffix from chasan, echasinu. In other words, to take possession. And so until the saints would take possession, and notice of the kingdom, and the saints, we could translate it, were caused to take possession, since this is a causative form in the hafel. Notice kadishim is an adjective masculine plural meaning the saints. So the phrase is rendered, I believe, the saints were caused to take possession of the kingdom. Again, the full translation of this verse, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and time came, and the saints were caused to take possession of the kingdom. Here again is a second reassurance that the saints of the Lord will have an eternal kingdom. Jesus Christ promises that he would come back after his return, or I should say at his return, and establish with his people an eternal kingdom, and a kingdom that would be unshakable. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 28. So Daniel, I believe, by prophetic enunciation, is anticipating this unshakable eternal kingdom that the saints of the Most High, who are believers in Jesus Christ, will be able to enter.